They often say that behind every powerful man, there is an equally remarkable woman. But what happens when that woman is not only elegant and influential, but also separated by generations in age? From whispered romances to storybook unions, these women are far more than companions of immense wealth. They have become symbols of ambition, mystery, and transformation, each leaving a distinct imprint on the world. Some choose to lead from the shadows, while others shine boldly under the spotlight. Yet they all share one undeniable truth. They have redefined the rules of influence. In this video, we will uncover the fascinating paths of these women who didn't simply step into extraordinary lives, but reshaped the world around them. They are not just billionaires' wives, but enduring icons of power, presence, and legacy. The real question is, what inner force has allowed them to rise beyond expectations and achieve something truly unforgettable? Amira's marriage to Saudi billionaire Prince Al-Walid bin Talal instantly captured international curiosity. A young woman filled with vision and determination entered a realm of prestige, influence, and overwhelming responsibility. Their story is often traced back to a single moment, a 2-hour conversation, when Amira interviewed the prince. What began as an exchange of ideas soon evolved into admiration, commitment, and eventually a royal union that the world could not ignore. When a radiant Italian model marries a Formula One billionaire more than 3 decades older, the media rarely stays silent. But Elisabetta Gregoracci didn't hesitate for a second. She walked straight into the spotlight and made it her own. Born in Calabria, Italy, Elisabetta first gained attention through beauty competitions and glossy magazine features. Her presence soon carried her onto major fashion stages, and before long, she became a recognizable name on Italian television. Yet her story reached a global scale in 2008 when she married Flavio Briatore, an extravagant, polarizing, and immensely wealthy figure known for shaping Renault's era of success in Formula One. With a 3-0-year age difference and Briatore's larger-than-life reputation, public whispers quickly followed, along with the predictable assumptions. But Elisabetta responded in the most powerful way possible, with calm confidence. From the sunlit shores of Sardinia to the luxury harbors of Monaco, she transformed constant attention into a silent statement, proving that sometimes the strongest rebellion is simply continuing to live unapologetically. They share a son, Nathan Falco, and for a while, their future appeared almost written in stone. But even the brightest beginnings don't always lead to forever. In 2017, the couple announced a quiet and respectful separation. No loud scandals, no courtroom spectacle, and no lingering hostility. It was an unusually calm ending in a world where status and pride often collide. Elisabetta walked away with grace, a custody arrangement, and a settlement widely believed to ensure a stable and comfortable life. Yet what followed was even more telling. After the marriage chapter closed, she returned to television, stepped back onto red carpets, and reminded the world that her identity was never limited to a surname beside hers. Where once the spotlight fixated on who she married, it began to shift toward who she truly was becoming. Because life may try to define people through their connections, but real power lies in the ability to reshape your own narrative. Elisabetta Gregoracci didn't simply endure the headlines, she moved beyond them, carving her own path with poise, resilience, and undeniable presence. In a world where luxury often demands silence and perfect manners, Jade Lagardère chose a different language, one written through ink, social media, and fearless self-expression. She was never the expected kind of billionaire's partner, and that is precisely what turned her into a phenomenon. At just 20 years old, Jade, a Belgian-American model with striking presence and a rebellious edge, captured the attention of Arnaud Lagardère, one of France's most influential business figures, decades older than her. Almost instantly, the public conversation ignited. Headlines swirled around the age gap, the cultural contrast, and the immense wealth surrounding their world. But for them, none of the noise seemed to matter. When their relationship surfaced through an intimate glimpse shared publicly, Jade's unapologetic confidence stunned the traditional French elite. In a society that values restraint and subtlety, she was labeled too bold, too outspoken, too impossible to ignore. Yet behind the tattoos and the defiant image was something more complex, a woman genuinely devoted, and a man unafraid to embrace a love that broke every unwritten rule. They married and welcomed a child, and while the media continued to circle endlessly, Jade kept moving forward on her own terms. Instead of fading into the background, she redirected her energy into creativity and published a graphic novel, an unexpected step that proved she was far more than a fashionable figure in luxury heels. She became a storyteller, armed with a sharp voice and a mind that refused to be underestimated. Of course, a life lived in the public eye is rarely as polished as it appears. Their relationship faced its share of turbulence, quiet speculation, constant rumors, and moments of uncertainty. Yet Jade, like a symbol of reinvention wrapped in modern edge, emerged stronger each time. She stands as a contemporary force inside an old-world setting, a bold presence among traditions that prefer silence. And perhaps that is exactly what makes her so unforgettable, because sometimes, legacy isn't built by simply protecting the past, it's built by daring to challenge it. Jade Lagardère reminds us that a woman can rise beyond expectation, reshape the narrative, and carve out her own voice in a world full of unwritten rules. Imagine being handed a crown at just 18, not as part of a bedtime fantasy, but within a world shaped by ancient traditions and unspoken rules. This was the reality Princess Amira Al Tawil was born into, until she chose to reshape her destiny. Amira's marriage to Saudi billionaire Prince Al-Walid bin Talal instantly sparked worldwide fascination. A young woman filled with vision, energy, and ideals stepped into a palace defined by influence, legacy, and immense expectations. Their story is often traced back to an unexpected beginning, a 2-hour conversation during an interview Amira conducted with the prince. What started as a simple exchange of words soon turned into admiration, commitment, and eventually a royal union that captured the attention of the world. Yet Amira was never satisfied with simply wearing a crown that felt assigned rather than earned. Beneath the elegance and tradition lived a woman driven by purpose, someone inspired by ideas of equality, social progress, and a fierce desire to stand on her own. To her, the palace was not only a symbol of privilege, but also a place of invisible limits. And so, she made the bold choice to reshape her own path. When the marriage ended in 2013, many expected whispers, controversy, and spectacle. Instead, what the world witnessed was something far more powerful. Not the fall of a princess, but the rise of a woman set free. Amira stepped away from extraordinary luxury not to disappear, but to dedicate herself to a greater calling, supporting women's voices, championing education, and gently challenging the traditions that once tried to define her. Today, even without a royal title, Amira holds something far more meaningful: the power of self-direction. Each time she appears in the public sphere, each time she speaks through humanitarian and educational efforts, she delivers a message that resonates beyond status, that of a woman who chose to shape her own life instead of simply carrying someone else's legacy. No longer confined by tradition or a pre-written role, Amira is creating a new chapter, one that continues to unfold with purpose and courage. If fairy tales promise happiness at the end, Amira Al Tawil reminds us that true transformation begins the moment you stop living by someone else's design. Her journey is not only about wealth or pedigree, it is about freedom, choice, and reinvention. Wherever you stand in life, never allow others to define your path. Be bold enough to write your own story, and brave enough to choose your own destiny. It's not every day that someone marries a billionaire and turns the celebration into a spectacle so dazzling it rivals a royal event. But Andrea Hissam did exactly that. When she married casino icon Steve Wynn in 2011, she didn't simply walk down the aisle, she stepped into a moment that captured the world's attention. Their wedding, often called America's Royal Wedding, took place just one day after Prince William and Kate Middleton's ceremony, and was hosted inside the breathtaking Wynn Las Vegas resort. Andrea's gown, a stunning creation by legendary designer Oscar de la Renta, was even compared to Princess Kate's unforgettable dress. The guest list featured more than 1,000 of the most powerful and influential names on the planet, turning the event into a gathering of modern elite. Yet Andrea was never just a glamorous figure wrapped in couture. Born in England and raised within the circles of high society, she carried a unique poise, charm, and elegance that made her presence unforgettable long before the spotlight ever found her. She's the kind of woman who commands attention long before anyone even knows the name of the man beside her. Despite being 21 years younger than Steve Wynn and facing the predictable murmurs that often follow such age gaps, Andrea Hissam quickly showed she was far more than a glamorous presence. Through polished public appearances and a quieter form of influence behind the scenes, she carried herself with composure and elegance while standing next to one of the most closely watched figures in the business world. And as Wynn's name later became surrounded by intense public scrutiny during the cultural reckoning of the Me Too era, Andrea remained a symbol of calm poise in the middle of a stormy spotlight. Still, Andrea chose to remain. In a world where love, influence, and immense fortune rarely exist without complication, she has continued forward calm, composed, and seemingly untouched by the noise around her. And perhaps she understands more than the public ever will, because sometimes real power isn't found in grand gestures or dramatic displays. Sometimes it lives in silence, in the ability to stay steady when everything else feels uncertain. Andrea Hissam stands as a reminder that strength can look like quiet confidence, measured wisdom, and the determination to navigate life with control and clarity, entirely on her own terms. Everyone knows Salma Hayek, the mesmerizing actress with fierce eyes and undeniable presence. But behind the glamour is a story shaped by resilience, ambition, and a surprising connection to one of the most powerful figures in the fashion world. In 2007, Salma stunned the public when she married François-Henri Pinault, the CEO of Kering, the luxury empire behind legendary brands such as Gucci, Balenciaga, and Saint Laurent. He is not only a billionaire, but a major force shaping the modern fashion industry. Yet Salma never needed his wealth or status to define her. She had already built her own legacy long before their paths crossed. Their relationship, though intensely watched, remained remarkably private and deeply personal. After just 11 months of dating, Pinault proposed, and during that whirlwind chapter, Salma was already expecting their daughter, Valentina. Some saw their romance as a whirlwind, others questioned the risks, but for Salma, it was simply real. What sets her apart is that she never allowed herself to disappear into her husband's vast empire. She didn't transform into Mrs. Pinault. She remained Salma, bold, outspoken, and fiercely protective of her own identity. Even under the weight of public attention and the demands of family life, she held her ground with unmistakable strength. More than a partner, Salma continued to shine in her own right, walking red carpets, speaking on global platforms, and expanding her career as an actress and producer. She has also worked tirelessly to open doors for women of color in industries where their voices are too often overlooked. Her presence has always carried purpose beyond fame. She once reflected, "I don't want to be loved because I'm successful. I want to be loved despite it." And with François-Henri Pinault, it seems she found exactly that kind of love. Because true independence isn't about escaping someone's shadow. It's about standing firmly in your own light, no matter who stands beside you. Salma Hayek is living proof of the strength that comes from honoring yourself, protecting your identity, and choosing self-worth through every chapter of life. Most romance novelists spend their lives writing about powerful men and complicated love stories. Melanie Kraft didn't just imagine it, she experienced it firsthand. When she married Larry Ellison, the founder of Oracle, in 2003, many assumed she was simply another woman pulled into the gravitational world of a tech billionaire. But Melanie was never a predictable character in anyone's script, not even her own. Long before she became Mrs. Ellison, she had lived a life filled with unexpected chapters: bartender, pastry chef, safari driver, and eventually, a successful romance novelist. She knew what it meant to start over, to reinvent yourself, and to build something meaningful from nothing but courage and creativity. That spirit of imagination and bold new beginnings may be exactly what drew her to Larry, one of the most private and enigmatic billionaires of his era, and a man 25 years her senior. Their connection wasn't just about wealth or status, it was about two very different worlds colliding into one extraordinary story. Their wedding, held at Larry's Woodside estate, was surprisingly understated by billionaire standards. Yet one detail made it unforgettable. Steve Jobs served as best man. Yes, Steve Jobs himself. That single moment felt like a symbolic intersection of Silicon Valley legend and modern-day mythology. But like many real-life love stories, theirs didn't unfold as a perfect fairy tale. After 7 years together, they quietly separated in 2010. No public spectacle, no bitter headlines, just a calm and respectful ending. Melanie, known for her gentle strength and quiet grace, walked away with far more than a new surname. She gained perspective, influence, and a life filled with extraordinary assets, from yachts to stunning properties. But even more importantly, she never lost the most valuable thing of all, her sense of self. She continued to write. And in a world that often celebrates the men behind the fortunes, Melanie Kraft reminds us that the women beside them can also hold the pen, creating stories just as powerful, just as lasting. Her journey proves that protecting your identity and building your own path is always possible, no matter the circumstances. When Fabiana entered the world of Formula One, she was already recognized as a sharp executive, poised, intelligent, and quietly commanding attention. But everything changed when she married billionaire Bernie Ecclestone, the legendary leader of F1 who was 45 years her senior. Suddenly, global headlines focused less on her professional achievements and more on the dramatic age difference. He was 81, she was only 35. Predictably, whispers followed. Some reduced her to unfair assumptions, framing the relationship through shallow labels rather than reality. But Fabiana refused to become a character in the media's storyline. Born in Brazil, she climbed her way up through determination, eventually becoming vice president of marketing for the Brazilian Formula One Grand Prix. Her rise wasn't built on shortcuts or favors, it was shaped by discipline, ambition, and relentless work ethic. It was in that high-pressure world of speed and power that she met Bernie, the man behind the Formula One empire, someone accustomed to control and authority. Yet with Fabiana, even Bernie found himself unexpectedly captivated, because she wasn't simply standing beside the spotlight, she was strong enough to be one of her own. They married in 2012, and Fabiana never disappeared into his shadow. Instead, she carried her own presence with quiet strength. Despite the endless headlines and even the playful public comments about their height difference, yes, she is taller than him. Their relationship remained unexpectedly steady and grounded. In 2020, she welcomed their first child together, making Bernie a father again at 89, a detail that immediately sparked speculation and judgment from outsiders. But Fabiana faced it all with calm composure and unwavering devotion. Those who assumed she entered this world only for wealth overlooked a deeper reality. Because sometimes, connection has little to do with numbers or appearances. Sometimes, it's simply about two people finding a sense of belonging in one another, even while the world continues to spin with opinions. Fabiana's story shows that love and partnership aren't defined by age or surface-level expectations. Often, it is a woman's resilience, steadiness, and inner strength that shapes the foundation of a lasting bond. Fabiana Flossi remains a testament to living with independence and dignity, untouched by the noise of outside judgment. She stepped into the spotlight with flawless elegance and walked away wearing a ring worth millions. But make no mistake, Hope Dworacek-Smith is no one's decoration. She is a presence entirely her own. In 2010, Hope gained major attention as Playboy's Playmate of the Year, known for her striking beauty, confidence, and undeniable charisma. But when tech billionaire Robert F. Smith noticed her, it wasn't simply about appearances. He was drawn to her spirit, ambition, and energy. Their wedding was nothing short of cinematic. Set along Italy's breathtaking Amalfi Coast, the celebration unfolded like a dream. A private helicopter arrival, an opulent villa overlooking the sea, and even a live performance by John Legend. Yes, John Legend sang as Hope walked down the aisle, and again as the couple shared their first dance beneath a sky full of stars. The guest list read like a gathering of global power players, the kind you'd expect to see in the pages of Forbes. That night felt almost unreal, like a modern fairy tale brought to life. But what happened after the vows is what truly makes Hope unforgettable. She didn't disappear into a life of comfort, she chose to create meaning within it. Instead of simply living in luxury, she began shaping a life defined by her own vision and purpose. As the founder of Motherly, a premium skincare brand designed for mothers, Hope turned motherhood and entrepreneurship into a powerful dual legacy. She has often spoken about identity, about refusing to be reduced to a role, a title, or a label. Because for Hope, the real story was never just about who she married. It was always about who she decided to become. While her husband may be among the wealthiest men in America, Hope has never allowed that fact to define her. She has built her own journey, standing beside him as an equal presence, not as someone hidden in the background. Through that choice, she has emerged as a modern symbol of confident femininity, ambitious, self-assured, and unapologetically authentic. She may have first stepped into public view through glossy magazine pages, but today, she holds her space in the world of business and entrepreneurship. Never underestimate a woman who knows how to command any room, whether under the sharp glare of flashing cameras or in the quiet elegance of candlelight. Hope Dworacek-Smith is living proof that a woman can be both captivating and powerful, shaping her own identity and carving her own path, no matter the circumstances. Drop a 1 in the comments if you believe Hope's journey is a true symbol of strength and independence, or a 0 if you're still unsure. And if you're enjoying these powerful stories of women rewriting their own destinies, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Now, let's keep going because the next chapter is just as fascinating.